What's up everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. The Nexus 6 is out, it's available, and you're probably considering picking one up. But if you are, maybe you're thinking about cross-shopping with one of the other myriad of superphones that are out there. So I thought it'd be kind of fun, a little bit gratuitous, to take all the other phones that are available. Obviously there are a few we could have added here, but these are the big ones, put them all together and just compare it to all the phones. So let's go ahead and put the Nexus 6 against everything. So we've got a cadre of phones. We've got the Nexus 6, we've got the Lumia 1520, we've got the Galaxy S5, we've got the Moto X 2014, we've got the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, the LG G3, the Htc One M8, the Droid Turbo, the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 6 Plus, all here for our smartphone-loving hands. I love phones. I do this because I love phones, and I just looking at all these phones makes you so happy. Is it weird that I just kind of want to lick them all? That probably is weird. So we did a video like this when the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus launched, and I figured that one was fun, but let's add more phones, and now we got a Nexus. It's Android's turn to see what it looks like versus everything. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is a 5.9-inch screen on the Nexus 6 because it sounds better than the Nexus 5.96. So let's compare it to a true 6-inch screen. This is the red Lumia 1520. It's a pretty odd phone. We put these two side by side. You can go ahead and see that Lumia is bigger. It's chunky, it's square. You can see what those two look like side by side and stacked. They're just getting a little 6-inch makeout sesh going on. All right, Lumia, your time is over. Go back to play with your friends. Next, let's bring in the flagship from Samsung. This is the Galaxy S5. We can also test your smartphone knowledge. Before I say it, see if you know what the screen size is of all these phones. If you said 5.1 inches for Galaxy S5, you would be correct. Hello, Galaxy S5. Hello, Nexus 6. This is how I play with my action figures. Anyway, put these two side by side, you can clearly see the difference between 5.1 and just about 6 inches. We're going to call it 6 inches because it's just easier than saying 5.96. Big difference here between the two. See difference there in thickness as well, the design, the metal band, or sort of the fake metal band around the Galaxy S5 and then versus the Nexus 6. All right, Galaxy S5, we're done with you. What about one of the latest from Motorola? This is the 2014 Moto X, and how big is the screen size? If you said 5.2 inches, you would be correct. This one's got the leather back, which looks very worn here. Let's put these two side by side. See, they can just get their make-it on. It looks almost like kid brother versus regular brother. It's a crazy world when a 5.2-inch screen phone feels teeny and tiny. So here are these two side by side. See what those guys look like. And these are kind of related. I guess now they're kind of like kissing cousins. You see what both of these guys look like next to each other. You can notice though, the antenna bands are in the same spot on each, down on the bottom. They both have those same lines on the top and on the bottom, so you can see some family heritage there. But enough with you, Moto X. It's all about the latest in the Note line, and that is the Galaxy Note 4. How big is the screen on that? 5.7 inches is how big the screen is. This is sort of the first of Samsung's new design language. We saw it first the Galaxy Alpha, or the second, I should say, of the new design language. That's sort of that metal ring around it, a much more premium feel. So these two are pretty close to the same screen size, 5.7 to 6 inches. See what they look like. Hello there. And this is a much closer example. They're almost the same size, a little bit smaller on the Note 4, but there are those two side by side. Let's see what those guys look like. All right, Note 4, I'm done with you. How about the almost bezel-less LG G3, whose screen size is 5.5. Buttons on the back too, still takes a little getting used to. So about half an inch difference in these guys, and you can probably see a big difference here since the G3 is really thin on the bezel side. You can see a big difference here in the width and the height of both phones. So there are those guys, and there's the width of them. They want another minute just to be together. All right, maybe put these two together, they'll make a G3 bigger. Sorry, bad joke. Let's take the Htc One M8. Hello, M8. You're like an old friend. I kind of missed you. And how big is the screen size? It is 5 inches. 5 inches, and I kind of want to say diminutive 5 inches, which is crazy. Remember the Dell Street Kit? That was 5 inches and seemed gargantuan. Oh, our perspectives have changed. So there is those two side by side. You got the metal versus the plastic build, and HTC's got some incredible build quality, and you can definitely see the difference here between the width of these guys. And width, not talking thickness, but the width of the actual phone itself. So there's that. So there are those two side by side. All right, so next let's bring in the latest from Verizon. This is the Droid Turbo with its Kevlar back and its 5.2-inch QHD screen. So there's that. You might think, hey, John, it's a little chunky, but this thing's got a battery that'll last you 4 days. I really kind of like that feature, and we've really enjoyed playing with this guy around the office. So there are those two. And see what they look like right there. Big difference, but I will take that thickness for their redonkulous battery life. And next, let's bring in the first of Apple's lineup. Here is the iPhone 6 with its 4.7-inch screen, which last year would have seemed big by iPhone standards, but this year seems downright tiny. So here are those guys side by side, so 6 inches or thereabouts, and 4.7. It looks like you could almost fit like 2 iPhones on here, or 2 iPhones and maybe like a couple iPod Nanos you could stack and see the screen size difference there and the thickness there as well. Now let's bring in the largest, and this is the last phone of our comparison of the iPhone lineup. This is the iPhone 6 Plus, which is 5.5 inches, and this is where things get interesting. I certainly said that I thought the iPhone 6 Plus had big bezels, so you're looking at about a ½ inch different screen size between the two phones, yet if you put them on top of each other, they're almost the same height. The Nexus 6 is a little bit wider, but that's about it. So you get almost an extra ½ inch of screen real estate for pretty close to the same size package. So the more you know. Put that guy back. So we compared the Nexus 6 to all of these phones. Obviously, there are more phones out. If you guys want us to dig into our inventory and see what other phones we compare this to, let us know. It's just a fun, lighthearted video. I like to just look at all these phones and, again, kind of want to lick them. But this is if you're considering getting Nexus 6 and you want to know what it looked like next to another flagship. Here are all of the flagships. I'll call them flag-shy. You can pick which one is right for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed. We had a lot of fun making these videos. Until next time, I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Check us out there for the latest greatest tech news. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We are people just like you who love technology. If you want to keep up on the latest from the world of consumer electronics, hit the big subscription button right down below. If you want to see us play games, although admittedly sometimes very poorly, check out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/technobuffalo.